All right, we're taking the top 5, going 15 laps. Robbie Beal in that 93 sets the pace. We are green flag racing for the first time today. Orange and blue 5 machine of Mike. Oh, there goes the 38 of Shannon Doucette, causing the pileup. Involved in that was the 97 of Jeff Shulea. And here we go. Kyle Dixon in the F1. Working that wheel a little bit on the front stretch. Oh, and gathering up in turns 1 and 2 is the 138 of Keith Lee Jr., and I cannot read the number on the top of that machine from that far out. Josh Chevalier in the 55. In your final transfer spot now, yellow flag comes out. We'll just pretend that we haven't had any cautions since we haven't completed a lap. Looking to complete the first lap. Robbie Beal in the 93. Here we go. Jeff Shulea in the 97, holding a few people up. Here comes Rob Slott in the 48. Scotty Benjamin in the 04, rubbing on him just a little bit. Your final transfer spot is the 48 of Rob Slott. Slott looks to the high side to get around Shulea. Caution flag is out. Lights are out. We're going to try this one once again. Robbie Beal setting the pace. Green flag's up. Hammers down. It is showtime. Kyle Dixon staying on the brakes and on the bottom and on the back bumper of Robbie Beal. Beal having some problems as he is now getting freight trained by the rest of the field. Here comes 3 wide. Bubba Lee in the 138. Josh Chevalier in the bottom hits the brakes. Get into the 04 of Scotty Benjamin. We have us a race here for the top 5. The final transfer spot is now the 97 of Shulea. Oh, mud cover comes off and goes in to the staging lanes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 97. Your final transfer spot pushes the cushion. Does Beal, and now Keith Lee Jr., the 138, is in your final transfer spot. Kyle Dixon in the F1, looking to gain the race lead, but looking strong is the 48 of Rob Slott. Rob Slott underneath the 51, side by side, out of turn number 4 we go. Caution flag comes out. Single file restart we go. Hayes, your leader out front, sets the pace, sets them away. Green flag is up. And Kyle Dixon gets right back on the groove, and here comes Rob Slott in that 48 right around the bottom. Hayes with a great move. 97 of Shulea gets around the 138. Here comes Josh Chevalier working his way around Keith Lee Jr. Chevalier, we got to see last night has a very fast car when he can get through traffic. With a little bit of clean air, he's going to look to reel in the 48 of Rob Slott. Slott to the low side. 51 of Hayes pushes out way high towards the cushion. Scotty Benjamin scrubbing off a lot of speed. Josh Chevalier into the marbles above the cushion. That allows the 138 of Keith Lee Jr. to get to his inside line. Watch the corner speed of that 55. That car stays pinned over on the right front. And he's got a lot of suspension and forward drive working for him when he gets that car to roll over in the corner just where he wants it. But back up front, the 48 of Rob Slott and the F1 of Kyle Dixon. Slicing and dicing, traded places with each other. Halfway home we are, going 15 laps, taking the top 5. Hayes, Chevalier, and Keith Lee Jr. There goes Chevalier to the inside of Brad Hayes. Brad Hayes in the 51, Working the middle line of the racing surface, side by side. Down the backstretch we go into turns 3 and 4. Chevalier gets the line. Hayes looks for the crossover, but doesn't have enough. Now Keith Lee Jr. in that 138 is going to look for his way around the 51. Loses a little bit of speed on the exit of turn number 2. Dives back underneath him in the inside. The 51 of Brad Hayes loops it. He was your final transfer spot. Just like that, his night in the Texas Grand is over. And Jeff Shilletta, the 97, re-inherits that final transfer spot, but with it is going to come with a battle. The 04, Scotty Benjamin. Goes to lay it in there sideways. Gets a little bit of ground. Here comes that battle for the final transfer spot. Really starting to heat up. Benjamin to the low side. Shilletta up high in the 97. If Benjamin can get to the high line and use that momentum to get a little bit more drive out of the corner, he could have Shilletta. Shilletta makes a little mistake right there, as does Benjamin. There was an opportunity to capitalize. Holding your breath, because right here is where it counts. Benjamin trying to stay patient, not trying to force something that's not there, and there it almost has to hit on the brakes hard. As we are 2 laps to go, Benjamin has a lot of ground to make up. Battle starting to shape up even more in this 3rd place spot as Chevalier working his way, gets on the brakes hard, has to reset the car. 138 of Keith Lee Jr. from Lumberton, Texas. Puts a little bit more real estate between him and the 55 of Chevalier as the white flag waves. Your leader going into turn 3. And your leader out of turn 4, the 48 of Rob Slott, picks up the win here this afternoon, followed by Kyle Dixon. The 3rd place spot. Oh my gosh, Josh Chevalier loses it. Chevalier may lose a transfer spot as well. And he's going to lose the transfer spot. 138 of Keith Lee Jr., followed by the 97 of Jeff Shilletta, and the 04 of Scotty Benjamin makes it to the show. Peterson, originally from Wisconsin, moved down to Texas in the last year or so. As we are 3 wide right there for a second, Brent Torillo looks to the inside, has to back off as the opportunity closes, and the 65 of Peterson is way loose towards the exit of turn number 2, and there he is loose at the top of turn 3. We are taking the top 5 once again. The 117 of Todd Jewett makes a mistake, but that's going to pay off because it's going to give him a huge run from the high side. And around goes Peterson in the 65. Green flag stays out, so top 5. And the number 5 of Mike Martin having some issues. Jose Moron Jr. in the 33, trying to close some ground on Mike Martin for the final transfer spot. Once again, we're taking the top 5. Striking distance of this final transfer spot, but then makes a mistake. The number 33, Jose Moron Jr., is your final transfer spot into the A main. Stretching his legs out front, the number 14 of Brent Torillo. Starting to come up on lap traffic 65 of Peterson, and one stopped and facing the wrong way. That's the number 7 of Austin Tice. Mark Asher looking him over, making sure no one jumps. The green flag is in the air, and it is showtime. Gary Watson makes a move right there on the bottom. Guys getting on their brakes. A little bit looser than what they expected. Greg Miller almost causing a little pileup on the backstretch. The 46 makes his way around. That was Randy Bridges. Cody Leonard already up in that 4th place spot. There's the 65 of Pete Sagmiller in the 5th place spot. Greg Miller, number 10, trying to take that away. And there goes Greg Miller, loses it right in front of the back half of the field. Right now looking good. The 5W of John O. Whittington out front. Gary Watson in the 3 gets a good jump right there with Randy Bridges in the 46 to his outside. Cody Leonard staying on the bottom. Here comes Pistol Pete Sagmiller in the 65, splits them right down the middle. We've got a good group right here for the top 5 battle. Randy Bridges in the 46, Sagmiller in the 65, and the 24 machine of Jeremy Richardson, who came from the back. Richardson started dead last, and he's now in the final transfer spot. And Darrell Seals in the 98 trying to change that. Spot. Gary Watson, number 3, with pressure from the 12 of Cody Leonard. Leonard started outside row 4, all the way back in 8th, and now he's battling for the 2nd place spot. There's no doubt about it. Leonard is going to be a hot car to watch in that blue and black 18. Randy Bridges in the 46, your current final transfer spot, taking the top 5. Battle for 6 between the 24 of Jeremy Richardson and the 98 of Darrell Seals. With a straightaway lead on 2nd place is John O. Whittington in that 5W and the 3 of Gary Watson as 2 laps to go. The top 5 seems to be locked in. John O. Whittington in the 5W. Checker flag waving on him right there, the 5W, Mr. John O. Whittington. Followed by Gary Watson, Cody Leonard, Pistol Pete Sagmiller in the 65W, and the 46 of Randy Bridges. That is your top 5 going to the A. He's a fast car out front. Nick Vanderver's good number as well. Green's up. Let's go. Jim Young in that number 30 looking for a place to go. Holds up and then guns for it. There goes the 23 machine of Mason Jordan. And he collects Chase Gilly in the 42. We're going to try this one again. That seems to be the phrase of the afternoon right now. And we got another spinning them around. Leco Lift, Alco Electric Incorporated, BHR Business Center, all the drivers and all the fans. Because we are racing and we are happy, happy, happy. Number 9 out front. 19 out front, Nick Vanderver. Splitting 3 wide, there goes Andy Mitchell with a big move. Chase Gilly in the 42 to the low side. And there goes the 30. Once again of Jim Young. That's my mistake, folks. In the second place spot, that red machine is the 99 of Garrett Hayes. It's got a small little 9. Nick Vanderver in the 9B is right behind him, followed by Chase Gilly. And the battle for the final transfer spot is between the 25 of Robbie Beal and the 72 of Robert Bartlett. We're taking the top 5, putting them directly in the back of the A main. Bartlett drove in from Cleveland, Texas today. And side by side is Gilly on the bottom with Nick Vanderver to the high side out of turn number 2. Gilly trying to down low once again. Doesn't have enough of a run from the bottom. And Nick Vanderver in the 9 will hold that spot. Let's see if that's going to change here in turns 3 and 4. Chase Gilly gets a little bit more of a lead. I say a lead, a little bit more of an edge. And now we are side by side down the backstretch. So Gilly may be able to pull this one out and get the 3rd place spot away from Nick Vanderver. Makes a mistake, scrubs off speed. In the Wendell Kelly Construction 72, Robert Bartlett trying to do what he can to crack into the top 5. Working to get around Robbie Beal. And Beal is blocking, trying to cut down any opportunity that Robert Bartlett has. And there goes Bartlett to the inside of Beal for the final transfer spot. Back towards the front, battle for 3rd place still going on. Chase Gilly in the 42 as the white flag waves. Trying to get around the 19B of Nick Vanderver. Out front, Andy Mitchell at 118 looking good. Holding off the 99 of Garrett Hayes. Here's the group coming out of turn 4. The 118 of Andy Mitchell picks up the win, followed by the 99 of Garrett Hayes, Chase Gilly in the 42. 19B of Nick Vanderver in the battle for the 5th and final transfer spot in turns 3 and 4 is going to go to the 72 of Robert Bartlett. Top 5 once again. That's the trend. Vargas setting the pace in the 24. Green's up. It's showtime. Mason Ball making a move, getting to the high side, gets the run. David Kulhanek with a mistake, down to the infield he goes. Dawson Fisher in the 241 started 4th row inside. He's already in your 5th and final transfer spot. Battle up front though. Mason Ball in the 77 looks to the inside of Victor Vargas in the 24. Mason Ball with the advantage into turn 3 we go. 39 of Joe Bob Beach gets on the brakes to stay out of the back of Vargas. 241 makes a mistake. He's now off the pace. Battle for 5th is going to get interesting as David Kulhanek gaining ground on the 84 of Billy Young. And there goes the motor of the 77 of Mason Ball. As the phrase usually goes, they'll run their best before they let go. Is your current leader, David Kulhanek, and the 84 on that last row of the transfer spots. Green's up, taking the top 5. Mike Christians in the 22 looks to the inside, gets on the brakes. 24 of Vargas having a little bit of an issue. Billy Young in the 84 is your final transfer spot into the A main. Willie Veach in the 41 and Mike Christians in the 22. Got a battle for 6th place starting to take form here in turns 3 and 4. A mistake by Billy Young could cost him the transfer. Willie Veach in the 41 staying on the bottom. Billy Young in the 84 trying to hold that line. And Willie Veach in the 41 is trying to gain a little bit of separation from that 22 of Mike Christians. It's kind of hard to work up and break someone's lead from you when you're trying to battle someone who's trying to get around your outside edge. And there's the big mistake from Billy Young that Willie Veach was looking for, and Veach got on the brakes a little too hard and killed his momentum. He could have had that final transfer spot. David Kulhanek in the 0 and Victor Vargas in the 24. Battling for the 3rd place, but now the 5th place battle, Billy Young and Willie Veach. With 2 laps to go, Willie Veach is to the inside. Billy Young is still able to maintain that 5th place spot. White flag waves on your race leader, number 4, Tim Sterner. And once again, that final transfer spot is number 84 of Billy Young. We haven't been talking about him too much. He's not been in the mix of things because he has stretched his legs with about a half a straightaway on the rest of the field, and that is the number 4, Mr. Tim Sterner, picking up that 1st place spot, followed by the 39 of Joe Bob Beach. Joel Higgins setting the pace. Here comes the 13 of Battery as we are 3 wide on the exit of turn number 2. With a great battle for that 2nd and 3rd place spot. Once again, we're taking the top 5. So Aaron Stevens is battling against the 16 of Glenn Henry for that final transfer spot. And there goes Kevin Batterby in the number 13. And Batterby waits for the caution flag to come out. If we can get the words out, Joel Higgins out front in the 50. Here we go. Kyle Berry in that 57A with a good run, and there goes Higgins. Batterby right back up there in the 4th and 5th place spot, battling with Aaron Stevens, and here comes the 8 of Chad Iges. Aubrey Taylor gets into the marbles, loses a position, but gets a little bit of momentum from that high line off of that high bank. But Kevin Batterby in the number 13, still in that 3rd place spot, trying to track down Kyle Berry in the 57. Your top 5 right now as they sit: Joel Higgins, Kyle Berry, Kevin Batterby, Aubrey Taylor, and Aaron Stevens are your top 5 that are going to move to the A main if things sit like this. Chad Iges locks up the brakes, almost loses it, causes a collision, but we do stay clean and green. For the lead between the 50 of Joel Higgins and under pressure from the 57 of Kyle Berry. Kyle Berry working the low line of the racing surface, trying to find any bit of moisture that he can with 2 laps to go. Higgins is only ahead by about a car length as Berry has trimmed that lead. White flag waves as the battle for the lead can go either direction, as now the 57 of Kyle Berry is your new leader. Here we are in turn 3. Both drivers hold on, coming out of 4. Your winner of B main number 2 is the 57 of Kyle Berry, followed by Joel Higgins in the 50. Kevin Batterby in the 13, Aubrey Taylor in the 10, and their final transfer spot is going to be the 1 of Aaron Stevens. The lights are around, Mark Asher's looking them over, getting ready to set this race to the books. We go. Whoa! Larry Guillory, the number 3, just gets square into the door right there. I believe that was the number 72 of Seth Stockton. Here comes Philip Seals to the inside. Savannah Lovell goes up to the high side. 3 wide out of turn 4. We are taking the top 5, and this is a great battle for this 4th and 5th place spot. 87 of Danielson. Excuse me, yes, 87 of Danielson. And whoa, Philip Seals almost loses it, but now he's got the rest of the field on his back bumper. Daniel McClellan in the 58 trying to work his way around. Savannah Lovell in the 83, she is now your final transfer spot into the A main. And we got him tangling up. That's the 161 of Kenny Berry. To the inside of that second row. Danielson to the outside. Savannah Lovell trying to crack the top three. Here we go. Ellender around the bottom. 161 of Berry almost gets into the back end of Lovell. There goes Ellender to the inside of Danielson. Josh Ellender trying to find his way around Robert Danielson in the 87. While Savannah Lovell in the 83 is trying to work her way into the A main without having to run the LCQ. She can finish here in the top three. Josh Ellender now side by side with Robert Danielson in the 87. Battle for second. Danielson to the high side. Ellender staying down low. We are taking the top three in the battle for the second place spot between Robert Danielson and Josh Ellender. If they keep going at it and Savannah Lovell can pick up some speed, that would be her opportunity to reel in that transfer spot. Out front in the 82, Chase Breezy. If you look at that car up close and in person, you'll kind of see that it's a Frankenstein of a hodgepodge kind of car. He's got a little bit of everything in there. Different bodies from old race cars of his so that he could put a body on that car to be out here tonight. White flag waves for Chase Breezy in the 82. Robert Danielson in the 87 of Josh Ellender in the 50 machine. That's your top three transferring. 83 of Savannah Lovell. With a lap car in front of her, she dodges it wonderfully. And checkered flag waves on the 82 of Chase Breezy. Followed by the 87 of Robert Danielson and the 50 of Josh Ellender. Here we go. Thomas Downey Jr. with a great jump. Don't know if they're going to say that he jumped the start. Looks like we're going to let him run. So TJ Downey out front in that number 4 machine. Big group right there for the 4th and 5th place spot. But we are only taking the top 3. Third place heating up. Stan Easley came from the back, battling with the 18 of Mike Rutherford for that final transfer spot. They're getting squarely touching, and here comes Rooster Wortman in the 149. Wortman to the inside of Easley, not there, but here comes the 39 of Olin Holder the 4th with a run off of turn number 2. Mike Rutherford trading a couple licks there. In the back, 39, Olin Holder the 4th. Holder to the inside of Rooster Wortman and gets the 4th place spot. Rooster now with pressure from young gun Jimmy Asher Jr. Asher Jr. almost gets into that back wall. We've seen what that wall can do to a race car. He is flirting with destiny. Jimmy Bird in the number 15. Trying to reel in Thomas Downey Jr. in the number 4, third place spot right now. We're taking the top 3. Battle starting to shape up right now. Stan Eastley in the 40 came from the very last row, and he's now in the final transfer spot. And Jimmy Asher Jr. loops it around on the exit of turn 4. And Olin Holder the 4th. Trying to put some pressure on the 40 of Eastley. Holder within striking distance. Eastley washes the rear end out a little bit on the exit of turn number 2. That allows Olin Holder the 4th to get the high side and maybe a run off turn 4 for the final transfer spot. And Olin Holder the 4th does just that in that white and black 39 machine. Now it's Stan Eastley's opportunity. The ball is in his court to change his destiny tonight for the A main of the Texas Grand. With 2 laps to go, if the drivers do not qualify in through the B mains, their last opportunity will be in a last chance qualifier. Lap traffic could come into play here for TJ Downey as Jimmy Bird, the 15. Within striking distance as a white flag waves. That's a 73 of Anna Hightower. 173 of Anna Hightower right there, separating first and second. Now lap cars are around Hightower. Final corner. Number 4 takes the high line. 15 down low out of turn 4. Number 4, Thomas Downey Jr., followed by Jimmy Bird in the 15. And your third and final transfer spot, the 39 of Olin Holder the 4th. Kinsey Vandiver in the 20 to the outside. Ryan Slott in the 49. Tim Pounds in the number 5. 10 Pounds wrecked earlier during hot laps. So Tim Pounds is out. The 71 is Jason Downey. Oh, we got them mixing all around now here. Kinsey Vandiver out front with Ryan Slott. To the inside, Jason Downey the 71, 46, William Roberts to the inside, to the high side, trying to get a little bit of a run, and there goes the 17H of old Smoke Johnson from the back row into that final transfer spot. .129 of Daniel Seals to the inside of Jason Downey in the 4th place battle. Downey gets the advantage going into turns 3 and 4. 17 old Smoke Johnson carrying that left front on the exit of turn 4 and gets a run to the inside of Kinsey Vandiver. Will it stick? Goes for the slide job. Kinsey looking for the crossover, and it's not going to happen. Smoke Johnson in that 17H with a great move in turns 1 and 2 to take away that 2nd place spot, and now Kinsey Vandiver is going to have to deal with the 71 of Jason Downey. Seals to the inside of Downey on the exit of turn 4. That's not going to stick. Smoke Johnson trying to find a way around Ryan Slott out front. Slott making his car 3 lanes wide. Johnson with a big run off of turn number 2. Sets him up within striking distance. Makes a mistake. Loses a little bit of drive out of turn 4. Kinsey Vandiver in the number 20 has her eyes set on that 17H. Phillips seals to the inside of Jason Downey out of 4. Good battle for the 4th place spot, but right now we're concerned with the top 3 as Kinsey Vandiver almost collided with the 17H of Smoke Johnson in turns 1 and 2 and could have ruined their night for both of them. But here we are, checker flag for Ryan Slott in the 49. Smoke Johnson in the 17H and the 20 of Kinsey Vandiver picking up your 3rd and final transfer spot.
Trey Smith. Here we go. Smith out in front. Luke Lucas in the number 2. Moving up to 2nd, matching his car number. Trey Smith running the high side. It's Luke Lucas on the bottom. Joe Nyman falls to 3rd. Ken Lewis Sr. in the 4th spot right now. Smith out of 4 with the advantage over the number 2 of Luke Lucas. Joe Nyman in the 57A. Trying to hold on the hard charger, Ken Lewis Sr. Matt Beagle with a good run coming off of turn number 2 on the 22L. It's Senior. Jacob Harris. Oh, we got one upside down. That's Joe Nyman in the 57. Joe Nyman. Here we go. Trey Smith way up high, coming out turn number 4. It's Smith, Lucas, Lewis Sr. Jacob Harris trying to take away that 4th spot, the 3rd spot from Ken Lewis Sr. in that 22L. Again, Trey way out in front, about a quarter of a track lead. The twice flags are waving. We've got 2 more times around. The 12 of Trey Smith, the 2 of Jake Lucas, and now it's the 28 of Jacob Harris. That's your top 2 with the top 3 with 2 to go. White flag waving for the number 12, Trey Smith. One more time around this 3/8 mile track. And as he comes out of turn number 4, the checkered flag will be waving. Trey Smith. The 32. Here we go. Smith out in front. Jacob Lucas moving past Teresa Waller at number 3 to take over that 2nd position. right now with the number 3. Rod Craddock in the 7, holding on to that 4th spot. The 32 of Shane Redland. Dustin Welch in the number 2, trying to save it. He kept it going like he's going to try to hit the infield. Try his luck another time. Back up at the front, the 33 of Bo Smith continues to put that real estate between him and the 57 of Jacob Lucas. Teresa Waller still matching her car number with the number 3. All this is being sent live on the internet through RaceOnTexas.com. 33 Bo Smith taking the 2 flags. Jacob Lucas. White flag waving for the 33 of Bo Smith. And as he brings that 33 machine out of turn number 4, the checkered flag will be waving for Bo Smith. Jacob Lucas in the 57. He will finish second. Teresa Waller will match her car number. She'll have to settle for 3rd. Rod Craddock and Shane Redland. Hopefully he's got it fixed. We'll find out here in just about a second. Here we go. Hogue trying to stick to the bottom. Phil Dixon on the high side, trying to get some traction on this going slick track. Dixon moves into the inside now. It's Mick on the top as Jeff Hogue takes over the first position in the 97. But that was short-lived as Donald Mick gets back around him in the 96. The flower power of A1, Phil Dixon, now it's solidly into 3rd place. Mick still on the high side. It's Jeff Hogue on the bottom. Jeff trying to make that first bottom stick. Side by side, they come out of turn number. It's all 3 wide going into turn number 2. Dixon now moves into 2nd, drops Hogue back down into the 3rd position in that 97. Now he takes over 1st as he cuts off Mick with a power slide coming out of turn number 4. So the flower power, Phil Dixon, takes over the lead as he goes into turn number 1. Mick and Jeff Hogue side by side as they hit turn number 3. Dixon, twice flags waving. It's 2 more times around for the flower power A1 of Phil Dixon. Dixon, white flag waving. 1 more time around. Hogue with a half a car length lead on 2nd. Here's Jeff Hogue in the 97, Donald Mick in the 96. Go back up at the front. It's the A1 Steak Sauce car, the flower power of Phil Dixon. Jeff Hogue will finish 2nd. Donald Mick will have to settle for 3rd. And rounding out the field, right here on RaceOnTexas.com, it's going to be Rob Sanderson.
And we are ready to go green flag racing. Richardson in that 24 machine is side by side with a 25 of none other than Robbie Beal. Beal had a great run in the street stocks, trying to change things up, and the 420 gets into the wall. That's J.R. Watts in turns 3 and 4. Moving right along into turns 1 and 2. The 2nd place spot, holding it down, that is the final transfer spot. And in that spot is number 30, Mr. Jim Young, and Jim Young is working on the back bumper of Robbie Beal. And around goes Beal and Richardson, and into Richardson goes the number 23 machine of Mason Jordan. And we're green. Earl Sinibaldi gets a great start, and the 30 of Jim Young gets into Sinibaldi a little bit. And Jim Young goes for Sinibaldi, it looked like, due to a right front flat, I do believe, from Jim Young. To come away with some great items, a late model four-wheeler 50/50. We've also got ice cold beer downstairs. Cold beer, get your cold beer right here, and we're green flag racing. Mason Jordan in the 23 goes for a big move, and it paid off. Jordan gets tangled up with Earl Sinibaldi in that 82. Not sure if they turned into each other or what. Greg Miller with a good move going into turn number 1, trying to get that inside line of Earl Sinibaldi, and it's not going to happen. The front two cars starting to stretch their legs away from Greg Miller. So out front, looking good, hitting his marks, is Robbie Beal in that number 25 machine. And slight mistake there, and that opened the door for Sinibaldi, but Sinibaldi overdrove the exit. And Earl Sinibaldi in that 82 had an opportunity to try to make a pass on the 25, but however, you kind of have to look at the strategy of things. You're locked in the A main right now. Do you risk passing for the lead and potentially wrecking? Or do you hold tight and just hold your spot and go to the A? You could also take the aspect of first or second, that's inside or outside. If you want that inside line, you need to be in that first position. White flag waving for Robbie Beal and Earl Sinibaldi. Robbie Beal staying right around the bottom, about a lane off the tires. And here they are in turns 3 and 4. Advancing to the limited modified A main in the 21st annual Texas Grand is Robbie Beal and Earl Sinibaldi. Lights are out, and here we are. Green flag is in the air out of turn number 4. Mike Christians and Robert Pollard lead them down into turns 1 and 2, but here comes the 241 machine of Dawson Fisher with the assault on the back bumper of the 22 of Mike Christians. Kevin Batterby in the number 13 trying to work his way around Fisher. And there goes the 151 of Marvin Irby. This is Irby's first big race underneath that dwarf. He came from a go-kart discipline, and last night was his first night racing it. Tonight's his second night. But up front, battle for the second and final transfer spot into the A main. Mike Christians on the bottom in the number 22 and Kevin Batterby in the number 13. Batterby looks to the inside out of turn number 4. Side by side we go into turns 1 and 2. Batterby down low. Christians takes the middle line, and that's not going to get it done as Kevin Batterby in the number 13 is starting to put a little bit of real estate between him and Christians. Your current race leader, the number 34 of Robert Pollard, having a little bit of pressure from the 13 of Kevin Batterby. Batterby trying to work that low line of the racing surface that he used against Christians. And there he goes. He's got the bottom working. Can he hold the spot? Pollard does not have the momentum off the high side. And your new race leader is the 13 of Kevin Batterby. But Pollard in the 34 is not done yet. He is still in that second and final transfer spot into the A main. So he just needs to hold his position and not allow Christians in the 22 to reel him back in. White flag waves on the number 13 of Kevin Batterby out of turn 4. Here he is, picking up the win in the last chance qualifier, the number 13 of Kevin Batterby, followed by the 34 of Robert Pollard. All right, lights around, green flags in the air, and this LCQ is underway. We are taking the top 3. Stan Eastley, and there goes Savannah Lovell around the top, and a bunch of other cars around the bottom. No laps complete. Complete restart. Kenny Berry on the pole, 161. Stan Eastley in the 40. Gonna stay up at the high side there for him. Kenny Berry holding up a little bit of traffic. People having to check up and get on their brakes, but there goes the 38 into that second spot. Excuse me, that is a 5-6 of Darren Dornack. Darren Dornack in the station wagon is your current final transfer spot. Jason Downey in the 71 trying to change that. But here comes Dornack to the back bumper of Stan Eastley. And the round goes Stockman. Seth Stockman just sitting, waiting for the green flag to come. Excuse me. Wait. Green flag is out. It's showtime. We are back underway for the LCQ of the factory stocks. 71 of Jason Downey trying to work that top groove, and it's going to work. Jason Downey in the 71 is now your second and final transfer spot, as here comes the 29 machine of Philip Seals to the back bumper of Dornack in the 56 of Darren Dornack. But the battle up front, Stan Easley in the 40, working the bottom line of the racing service. In the 71, Jason Downey on the high groove with the momentum. Down the backstretch we go. It looks like the spot is going to go to Jason Downey, and here comes Philip Seals in that 29, working his way around Stan Easley as well. We're taking the top three. Easley down at the bottom. Seals checks up, looks to go underneath him. On the exit of 4, tries to go for the crossover. Seals tries to set him up. Will this be the attempt to get the job done? Stan Easley looked like he bounced on the wall just a little bit. Luckily, all 4 tires stayed on the dirt. Philip Seals in the 29, still trying to find a way around the 40 of Stan Easley, and this may be the pass to get the job done. Will this seal the deal on the spot and allow Seals to kind of put some distance between him and Easley? We shall see, and I have a feeling that the run off of turn 2 will be enough. Taking the top 3 and putting them directly in the rear of the A main and the 71 machine of Jason Downey out front, with a lot of distance between him and second place, as we are now looking at 2 laps to go. White flag waves on Jason Downey in the white and pink 71. Had a great start. And it's looking like he's going to have a great finish as he's trying to hold on to these last 2 corners. And here it is. Get into last chance qualifier first spot. The 71 of Jason Downey, the 29 of Philip Seals, and the 40 of Stan Easley.